Okay, hello there everyone. So, this video really isn't going to be completely about crime, but there's a lot we got to talk about because a lot's at stake in our country right now. And as Tucker Carlson on Fox News once said, this country has decency. America is a decent country. But yet, our media seems to just fascinate and have obsessive compulsive disorder about everything else. Take Spectrum News New York 1 for an example. I guess if a tree fell down in Forest Park here in Queens, that wouldn't get covered, right? So it's the same analogy as a dead corpse being found on the Long Island Expressway by the Grand Central Parkway last night. Take a look at this page for an example. Here's New York 1. Do you see anything about it? Nope. They're talking about COVID. They're talking about COVID, and we're going to get to the latest developments on COVID in this video as well, because there's a lot we do have to talk about, because there is a new variant based on a name that was supposed to be given to a cryptocurrency, but that never happened because it was too late. So, yeah, nothing about it. So let's just take a look at public safety very quickly. Now let's take a look at a website that actually cares about it. Well, at least I'll give some credit. At least they spent a minute covering this, and I guess I'll play that. And at least we got an update regarding that shooting in the Bronx. So I will give them some credit. At least they are kind of on point. But, again, who cares about the shooting in... that incident that happened in Wisconsin last week? It's now local news. My goodness. Yep, and nothing on the Queens. So, you want to see where it got covered? Right here. On the Queens Courier website. You want to see where else it got covered? Here. On the AM New York homepage. Why aren't I surprised? So let's read this. Assorted body parts discovered on the Long Island Expressway here in Queens. So here we go. Police found body parts on the LIE in Queens Saturday afternoon, November 27th, according to the authorities. The dismembered pieces of an unidentified man were lying on the eastbound lane of the highway near exit 23 in Flushing at about 3:30 p.m. It is unclear how the body parts got there, and a police spokesman declined to specify exactly what the officers found. So, the Highway Collision Squad's looking into it. So, this is a brief article, but let's take a look at NBC New York for an example. Let's take a look. Because I will give Channel 4 all the credit in the world. And I keep saying, they do a good job with their newscast on the weekend. So apparently this looked like it was closer to the Grand Central Parkway. Let's watch this video briefly.
And in related story, traffic moving once again this morning on the Long Island Expressway. This after crews found a man's dismembered body on the highway. It happened yesterday in Flushing, Queens, near exit 23. So many unanswered questions, so we don't even know who the man is, how his body got there, or how he died.
You know what's so crazy? They don't even have the full report from last night. Let's see.
I want to get right to that breaking news.
Yeah, here it is. This is the one.
Found on the highway. Officers found the body on the Long Island Expressway near Flushing, Queens.
Yeah, they spent 2 minutes talking about it last night.
Creating a massive traffic jam. News 4's Jessica Cunningham
2 minutes.
Is on the Long Island
In New York 1 couldn't even bother sending a reporter last night.
Shutting down a section of the highway for out if there was a car involved or really under.
You know, this TV station's so full of it. I keep saying that. I'm just so disgruntled with this TV station. This TV station's going to give me an aneurysm if this keeps up. Because it sounds like I'm about to have one. Alright, so here's the next one. Here's the next one that New York 1 didn't even cover. There was a shooting in a bodega in Brooklyn last night. Where is New York 1 on that? Nowhere to be found. Okay, let's read this one. An 18-year-old man is fighting for his life after being shot in the head at a Brooklyn deli on Saturday night, November 27th. Law enforcement sources said the incident happened at a bodega at 6:05 p.m. at the M&M grocery store located at 1854 Nostrand Avenue in Flushing. I believe I know exactly where this is. Officers from the 67th Precinct, in responding to a 911 call about the shooting, found the victim at the deli with a bullet wound to the back of his head. EMS rushed the victim to Kings County Hospital, where he was listed in critical condition with life-threatening injuries. As of Sunday morning, police sources did not provide details of the circumstances leading up to the shooting. Detectives are looking to question 2 men who were seen fleeing the deli in an unknown direction after the young man was shot. No further description of the person of interest was provided. So far, no arrests have been made in the ongoing investigation. Yep, New York 1, nowhere to be found. Let's see where this address is. I believe I have an idea where it is in Brooklyn. Yep, I knew it. Not too far from where the Newkirk Avenue subway station is. See, there's Newkirk. And then that's where Avenue D is, and that goes right to Flatbush Avenue. Yep, so I know exactly where this is. Yeah, New York 1. You know, you're so full of it. You are so full of it, you know. And then we gotta talk about this one. Let's talk about this one. NYPD looking for a mugger who allegedly bludgeoned a man walking to work in Jamaica. Police from the 103rd Precinct in Jamaica are looking for a suspect who assaulted a 65-year-old man who was walking to work during the morning of Thursday, November 11th. The assailant approached the victim at about 6:30 a.m. in front of 106-11 142nd Street, just down the hall from Norelli Hargreaves Playground, and began swinging what appeared to be a metal pipe at the pedestrian. The assailant demanded the victim's wallet, where he continued to menace him with a pipe. When the victim refused to comply, the suspect struck him in the head with the pipe, knocking him to the ground. While the victim was on the ground, the suspect then forcibly removed his cell phone and fled the location on foot to parts unknown. The victim sustained an injury to his head and was taken to Jamaica Hospital Medical Center, where he was treated and then later released. So we do have a video of it. The NYPD released surveillance images of the assailant swinging the pipe. He's described as a 5'8" man with a light complexion, weighing around 150 pounds, with a medium build, last seen wearing a black winter hat, a dark blue hooded sweatshirt, gray sweatpants, and black sneakers. No arrest, ongoing investigations, so. Before we get to anything else, I have an unfortunate update regarding that video I did in Franklin Square. So, let's see if I can find it. I'll quickly take a look for it right here. Let's see if we can find Nassau. Let's see if I can find it. Oh, hang on here, folks. This is kind of New York City related. Yeah, not too far from the Nassau Queens line. We're gonna read that one. Yeah. I'm trying to find it, so just give me a second here. We're gonna look for it. Let's see, can I search for it? Okay, we can search for it. Okay, let's see if I can find it. Hopefully it'll budge. But if not, then, let's see. Yes, here we go. This is the one. So there was an unfortunate update, because I'm just, You know, New York 1 and News 12 just seem to have their own agenda these days. So here we go. We have an identity of the victim that was struck by the box truck on November 16th. And remember, I was the only one that had video from the scene. So here we go. The victim was identified as Alfred Perchiro. He died on Monday, November 22nd from the injuries suffered during the crash on November 16th from Franklin Square. According to detectives, Perchiro of Franklin Square was struck at the intersection of Franklin Avenue and Hempstead Turnpike. The driver of the box truck, age 34, remained at the scene. So at least this is not a hit and run. Because, again, I know the police did a good job closing off the street. Because, again, I was the only one that had video. Nobody else did. So, weird coincidence that I was literally on my way to do community involvement with Charlton for UBS Arena. And weird coincidence, you know, as I'm on my way to Elmont, this happens. You know, you just cannot make this stuff up. You just can't. So anyhow, let's read this one, because again, this is technically a New York City story. Okay, so it says here that this happened in New Hyde Park. So it happened early this morning. 2 female passengers were killed in a single vehicle crash on the Long Island roadway. It happened at Sunday, November 28th at 6:50 a.m. in North New Hyde Park on Marcus Avenue in the intersection of Union Turnpike. Upon arrival, Nassau County police officers discovered a 2009 Toyota Corolla overturned against the pole. 2 female passengers ages 39 and 71 were ejected from the vehicle and suffered serious trauma, according to police. They were pronounced dead by a North Shore LIJ ambulance medic at the scene. Okay, that's an epic fail. It's technically Northwell Health, but it doesn't matter now. The male driver was removed from the vehicle and transported to an area hospital where he remained in serious condition. Obviously, because of HIPAA law, they're not going to reveal the identity. But, you know, I know this area very well. So I just quickly wanted to read that. Because, you know, News 12 may not cover it because you know what their agenda is. Yes, and I'm looking something else up because my parents told me to look it up. Here we go. This is what I was looking for. Channel 7 actually did a good job covering this. So let's see this.
By a stranger with a rock in Queens. There is an investigation underway tonight to determine if this was a hate crime. Good evening, I'm Joe Torres. Sandra has the night off. Guaying Ma was outside her apartment cleaning, minding her own business when she was attacked. She is now in a coma. Eyewitness News reporter...
And why didn't New York One cover this either?
And has the story in this TV exclusive.
This was Guaying Ma, thumbs up when she got her COVID vaccine. Here is the 61-year-old gentle grandmother tonight in the hospital after a savage blow to her head with a rock.
I feel so guilty because she's helping me. She's helping me to switch.
Very unfortunate.
But now she faced such an accident.
Very unfortunate.
I feel so guilty. I feel so sick.
It was the morning after Thanksgiving here on 38th Street in Jackson Heights, Queens. We're told the victim was out sweeping the sidewalk, cleaning her block, minding her own, when she was suddenly assaulted with a rock. While crumpled on the ground, authorities report the violent attacker went after her again with the same blood-stained rock.
She's so sweet.
Let's see if they even give a location of where this happened. Okay, 89th Street in Jackson Heights, so I know where this is. I know exactly where this is. So, I'll show you who the reporter is. Here we go. This is the reporter who did a good job covering that story, and I'm very grateful that, you know, Lucy has actually been a reporter now for almost 50 years, believe it or not. She actually began at WPVI in Philadelphia. So thank you, Lucy Yang, for covering this, because, again, New York One's not going to cover it, obviously. So, again, I'm really glad my parents told me to do this for the video today, because there's like, you may want to cover something that happened in Jackson Heights. I'm like, what happened in Jackson Heights? Another hate crime. I said, was the victim Asian? They said yes. So, I'm sure this is Jackson Heights. I'm sure Grace Ming's office is going to issue a statement sometime later today or sometime during the week about it. But, you know, I'm just disturbed. I'm just disturbed that New York One doesn't want to cover the stories that matters to us. You know what they're covering? You know what they're covering? Covering this. So, I guess let's talk about what New York 1 really wants us to cry wolf about, huh? Huh? Let's read it. Let's read it. If I can find it. Here we go. Alright. So Wednesday could be a very important day for our country's history because the Supreme Court may overturn the 1973 ruling of Roe v. Wade. And remember, you can thank Donald Trump for the possibility of it being overturned. There's a 6-3 conservative majority. So, very big consequences could happen. And if there's a ruling on Wednesday, oh boy, that's not good for the city because that's when the Rockefeller Center Christmas tree is going to be lit. Let's see what else they want us to cry wolf about. This. Yeah, this. I'll get to that in just a second. Here we go. The governor issued an executive order saying that we need to be on guard for the Omicron variant, aka the cryptocurrency variant. That's what I'm going to call it. Because Omicron sounds like a cryptocurrency. And it does to me. And then look what she tweeted this morning. Look what she tweeted this morning. All nursing home and adult care facilities will not be required to make booster doses available to all of their residents. Kathy, there was a shooting in Brooklyn last night. Did somebody tell you about it? No. You know, this governor just wants to forget about the crime. You know, this is what's going to lead to a Republican becoming our governor next year. This is the chain of events, you know. This is going to lead to Lee Zeldin or Andrew Giuliani becoming our governor next year. You wait and see. You wait and see. The inevitable is going to happen. And then this. Look how much time they spent on this. On the travel ban to South Africa. Almost 2 minutes. Yeah, see? Over to the right, you can look at it for yourself. And then, let's get to Big Mouth Fauchy. Let's watch this. This is what's going to cause us to go into another shutdown because of him.
George, it's really too early to say. We just really...
No, that's not the video I'm looking for. Let's see. Here we go. This is the one where Fauci cries wolf.
Let's go through what we've done. The Omicron variant. Number one, is it more transmissible than other variants?
It appears to be, George. It has the molecular characteristics that would strongly suggest that it would be more transmissible. Yep. It has a bunch of mutations, a disturbingly large number of mutations in the...
Stop crying wolf, Fauci! Stop crying wolf! Unbelievable, this guy. He always flip-flops. Well, yes, I'm in agreement, you know. Right now, we should be taking all the necessary precautions. If you have to mask up, we should mask up. Here we go. And then this is what he said earlier.
Are we seeing more lockdowns again, new lockdowns, more mandates?
You know, I don't know, George. It's really too early to say. We just really need to, as I've said so often, prepare for the worst. And it may not be that we're going to have to go the route that people are saying. We don't know a lot about this virus, so we want to prepare.
Prepare for the worst. Prepare for the worst. You idiot! You're going to cause the economy to be shut down again! If we go into another COVID lockdown, you could kiss the United States economy goodbye. And I even reached out to a lot of my liberal friends about this Omicron variant over the weekend. One friend of mine was in agreement. He said, he was in agreement. He's like, imagine if we're all locked down again. There is going to be no restaurants. There's going to be no retail stores left. All going to be gone. The mom and pops are going to have to shut down. Trust me, folks, I am not in a good mood today. I am literally not in a good mood. Okay? However, there is some good news. So, we do have an arrest in the shooting that happened in the Bronx. So let's get back to on topic, because I know I wanted to discuss what NY1 wants us to cry wolf about. So, the suspect charged in the shooting of the officers that happened on Wednesday night. Suspect has been identified as Charlie Vasquez. He's been charged with attempted murder, assault, and criminal use of a firearm, among other charges. Now, this is technically not updated because Robert Holmes was actually released. Yeah, Albert Holmes was released last night, according to Channel 4. And let's watch Pat Lynch.
We have to realize today, while we come from a celebration in a Thanksgiving Day parade, and then we come here to celebrate a police officer who was shot yesterday, another police officer still in his hospital, while she goes home to her family with a bullet wound in her arm. We have to remember that police officers are putting themselves at risk each and every day. But we also have to recognize how much our streets have deteriorated.
And again, amen to Pat Lynch. Amen to Pat Lynch. And again, I know I don't agree with him on Donald Trump, but I do agree with him on what's going on in our streets. You know, I'm in complete agreement. And let's watch this one quickly. Man charged in subway attack that led to Brooklyn mom's death. So, this happened back in July.
Nearly 4 months after investigators publicly identified David Robinson as a person of interest in connection with the murder of a 58-year-old mother from Bensonhurst here at the Canal Street subway station. The NYPD announced Robinson had been arrested Friday on charges that include murder and 2 counts of manslaughter. But family friends,
so at least they spent a minute covering
this.
this.
Mo Chan of Elmhurst tells me this 53-year-old from Bedford-Stuyvesant should have also been charged with a hate crime.
I find it very disappointing, you know, even though I'm not legal.
Yeah, I kind of am in agreement. Why wasn't the suspect charged with a hate crime? That I am questioning myself. So, that's it, folks. I mean, what else is there to say? What else is there to say? I mean, the only positive thing about today, and I really want to get going, is this. This is the only positive I can say about today. If I can find it. Michael Strahan's number is getting retired today. So, I'm going to get going. I'm going to post this video so that way I can see if they're going to even have it on TV today. Because Michael Strahan is a kind and gentle human being. And I watch him all the time on Good Morning America. So trust me, I want to support him today. That's it. Thank you for watching.